There you go.
Esty?
So you didn't monopolize at all. It's actually incredibly important that you brought this up. There's only one thing that and you did touch up on it, you said cell phones. There's only one thing really that we didn't dive into, and that's really the implications of social media and how with every scroll, with every single time this kid sees a like or his friend writes a comment, they get that same hit of dopamine because that is a hit of validation. Now, what happens to a society that is hyper-focused on all of their validation on social media? They are set up for failure and disappointment. With this scrolling, with this social media, you also have to worry about what they're being exposed to. You have to now worry about your children being exposed to a hidden agenda by the Chinese Communist Party, and that is a real thing because guess what happens on TikTok? Everything is algorithm-based, and I'm talking to you from a creator's perspective. I've been a content creator for 5 years, even though I'm a nurse. That's something that I just got into full-time, and what I've noticed is that every single platform, all of their algorithms differ. And with TikTok primarily, they are pushing out actual poison on the youth of America. They are pushing out men should be women and women should be children. They're encouraging a lot of the pro-Hamas propaganda. They're purposely funneling that kind of information to create more and more chaos on US soil. And this is all stemming from our younger generations who are being poisoned by not only propaganda, but this fake world that they're comparing themselves with. And it becomes this vicious cycle. Like Dr. mentioned, there has to be happiness. You know, when we grew up, and the reason why I'm mentioning all of this, it goes back full circle. When I was growing up, I was 4 years old when we came here. We had such a strong community that even though our parents told us, they forced us to assimilate. They said, you speak English now. That's it. No more mama, papa. You know, I want korohan. You speak English now. But what ended up happening is we actually assimilated so quickly to the language and even to some of the customs, to the clothing, that our parents all reared us back, and I know that I'm not the only one thinking this. They said, okay, from now on, there's only Russian at home. Every Friday you come home, you help your mother with Shabbos. Holidays, it's a non-negotiation. You sit with your family, and we had such a strong, powerful community that this was integrated from every corner, even though we did go to public school, some of us, because our parents at the time, maybe they couldn't afford a yeshiva education. But we had the Baharian Teen Lounge. And that is what kept personally me and my friends off the streets. And every single one of us that went to this lounge from the age of 11 years old all the way up to 17 for me personally, when then I went on and started actually even working there for a little while. But all of us, we have all graduated and all become professionals. All of us got married. All of us have good home values. And I really do feel like that's because we didn't have this toxic culture that is, you know, compare and contrast. Look who looks prettier. Everything is filtered. Everything is fake. These poor kids, they have no self-worth at the end of the day. They have no self-worth. What are they going to turn to? They're going to turn to drugs. They're going to turn to stuff that's going to make them feel good. They're going to turn to their friend because mom and dad can't understand the way the world is. There's bullying to consider today. There's kids killing themselves. So not to turn it like a dark corner, but this is very important that community, having community is one of the strongest foundations that a child, for them to succeed, will have. That's all I wanted to say.
I want to,
Nice.
we're going to have to...
Rabbi?
Yeah, Kvod Rabbi Chavod, and then I'll
There
conclude.
is a law that the grass of your neighbor is greener, even though it doesn't have grass to begin with. I remember a month ago, a couple which I married them off a few years ago, they went to the Bahamas. And they sent me a picture to the social networks. They're sitting in a nice restaurant, drinking beer together. And then I get a phone call from the airport that she ran away, and the police over there, and they're fighting, and they came to... But on the social networks, they are celebrating. It's beautiful. And then when they came to me, it took a long time to heal the situation. So as they say beautifully, we created something that should help us, but sometimes it's become, it's
Right.
controlling us. Thank you. God bless you for this beautiful